Wealth Creators presents Wealth Creator Spotlight. Today's guest is Saran Barker. She's a transformational financial coach, speaker, and author on a mission to help women be the bank and build legacy wealth. From local government to launching her business during the pandemic, Sarin created a safe space for women to learn, grow, and reclaim control of their money. She had the passion and purpose. Wealth Creators gave her the tools, systems, and clarity to scale it. Catch her journey in episode 4 of Wealth Creator Spotlight and get inspired to step into your power.
Wow.
Hey everybody, welcome.
Welcome.
Spotlight. We are so excited that you guys are here today. We have a fantabulous guest that's with us, Miss Saran Barker. Yeah. She's with us today, and we are so excited that she is here. Listen, we are Wealth Creator Spotlight. It is a bi-weekly talk show where we are going to interview different successful entrepreneurs who are on this journey of entrepreneurship. And they have remarkable stories with amazing transformations that they've experienced. And we want to introduce these folks to you so that you can see their greatness and not only see what they're doing and know what they're doing, but also begin to do it yourself. So if we can do it, you can do it. So I want to introduce you. I am Coach Rosie, and my co-host is
Angela Brown. I'm also a wealth creator and excited to be along this journey with the Wealth Creator family. I'm also currently, since I've started, I'm a business owner as well. So the things that happen in Wealth Creators just help to elevate you and push you to the next level. So we're excited to talk to our guest today, and I can't wait to get started.
Yes, absolutely. So let's go because I want to introduce you guys to Saran T. Baker. Saran is a transformational financial coach. She's a speaker, an author, someone who's on a mission to empower women to take charge of their money and their mindset. Listen, money and mindset, we all need to be there, right? So from a career in local government to building a thriving financial services business, she's proof that you can lead with purpose and profit. So she's also a proud graduate of Virginia State University, a two-time 40 under 40 honoree, and has just been recognized as one of Maryland's top 100 women of 2025. Woo, that is awesome. So I want to introduce you guys. Let's give a warm welcome to the woman who teaches us how to become the bank and live that rich auntie life, Miss Saran T. Baker. Hey, Saran. Welcome, Saran. We're so excited to have you.
I'm excited to be in this space with you wonderful ladies. I love the both of you. So I was honored to be asked to participate in this amazing experience.
Yes, and we're elated to have you here. Girl, let's get into it. First of all, you work for the government?
I do. I am what you call a dualpreneur, right? It's one of the things that I committed myself to about 15 years ago when I had been laid off from a job I had done for about 15 years. And at that point in my life, I said I would never have one stream of income again.
So explain to us, though, what is a transformational financial coach?
Well, the transformation is usually mindset first, right? You've heard it said before that you become a millionaire in your mind first before you ever become a millionaire in your pocket. That's my main Um, it's a mindset that you have to have, right? It's a behavior, it's a thought process, it's how we talk to each other, it's how we interact with ourselves that creates the transformation. And then the doing is how we get to have the things that we said we want to have. One of the things I share with people when I speak in large groups of women in different places is I do affirmations every day. And some of the affirmations I do, I start with, I am lovable, because so many of us doubt our ability to feel love or give love. And then I say, I am the magic. And I say that because it taps into my childhood self, where we believed in magic and we trusted that if we waved that wand, that things would change. And so I have to remind myself that I'm the magic, because the magic is what God put in me that I can use to wield, and not a wand like we did when we were kids. And then I also put in there that I am abundant, because we have to remember our abundance. And we were born with everything that we need, and we could take one watermelon and grow enough watermelon for the rest of our lives.
That is so precious. You know, Saran, when Coach Rosie was reading your bio, talking about all the things you've done, especially the 40 under 40. And I was thinking of 40 under 40, we hear it, but you made me go and research to find out. And I looked up the 40 under 40. And it talks about, the whole Business Elite 40 under 40 is a very prestigious award program that identifies outstanding young executives and entrepreneurs, okay, in this world's business, and creates networking opportunities for the up and comers, aspiring young business leaders in the industry. And they call you a disruptor with the undoubtable attitude, quality, potential, desire, determination, and ambition to shape the world of business over the coming decades. So we definitely look forward to, you've already started to doing it when you talked about being that transformational coach, and then, you know, the mindset and the magic. It's like, girl, we're excited to be here with you.
Listen, I wish I was still 40 under 40.
But why not 2 times?
Look, I wish I was still under 40, but yes. And honestly, like when you read the definition, it was something that I was honored to receive, because I received it in DC and in Prince George's County, where I live. So I received it in 2 different jurisdictions, which is how I was able to win the award multiple times. And it's not something that's done lightly, because they literally vet you. They want to see your full resume. They want to see your impact in the community. They want videos. They want to see your numbers. What was it before? What was it after? Like, what were you doing? And both were like a combination of the work I was doing in the community and the work I was doing through my business and through my professional life. So I don't count it. I count it a joy and a blessing for someone to have nominated me for both of those awards, because it's not something you just go and apply for.
Yeah. And then this other little title just tickled me to life, talking about you want to embrace that rich auntie life. You know what I'm saying? So how'd you even come up with the rich auntie life? What's that all about?
Well, a lot of people don't know this about me, but I am the oldest of 9. So I have a lot of siblings. I have 6 sisters and 2 brothers, and they all have kids. And I do not have any of my own children by birth. And so I'm auntie. You saw one of my rich nephews earlier. It's spring break, and so I got a couple of them here, and he's like walking around, y'all like, auntie, rich auntie, can we do this? Can we do that? And you know, when you think about it through the eyes of a child, being rich isn't about money. Being rich is about the love that we give, our time that we're able to spend, being able to go to any store and pick up a toy. He's staring at me now because I said nephew. But being able to go to an aisle and get the toys, and our kids think we're rich. Why don't we think we're rich? Right?
Oh, wow.
Why don't we create the life that we want to live, that our kids think that we're living, and make it real, right? Our imagination is the power that we hold to create our future. If you think of it as just some dumb daydream, then you're missing the point. if you focus your imagination on what you really want in life, right? And that's what I talk to my ladies when we do our financial coaching and when we do our workshops. What do you want? Let's focus on that instead of focusing on what you don't want. If you got a lot of debt, let's not focus on talking about a lot of debt. Let's focus on how you're going to feel when you don't have it. We're going to do the work to get rid of it, but let's seek that future self and how we're going to feel in the future when it's done. Let's embrace that feeling now so that you're in practice, you're ready to go. You're already become a rich auntie because you have the mindset that you're going to be there in the future. Because a lot of times we don't think about this, and this is me, talking the way I talk, is our future self already exists. It's waiting for you to make different decisions and decide which way you want to go so that it can be fulfilled, right? If you watch Spider-Man in the Ultimate Universe, I'm saying the name wrong, but you see, it shows you dimensions. And the thing is that you can be that person in the future that you want to be by just practicing and making different decisions today.
Magic. That's good. That's real good.
I love that. Absolutely. So Saran, I want to pivot just a little bit. You joined Wealth Creators. What inspired you to become a member or part of the family of Wealth Creators?
Well, I decided to join Wealth Creators about a year ago. I was traveling to speak to a group of women in Atlanta, and I saw like everybody else, I saw one of the ads for the free workshop, and I said, I'm going to this. I know Marvin Mitchell. I know his, I know him. I seen him before. We have some businesses and places in common that we share. And I said, well, I want to go see what he's saying about money that maybe I'm not saying. And so I went to the masterclass and I said, wow, this is amazing because his perspectives were so different. And so that led me to go ahead and I did the boot camp. And I know everybody doesn't follow the same process. And then I said, when he made the offer to join the community, I said, that's a no-brainer. Can you take my credit card now? And because what we do in Wealth Creators is a little bit different than I've seen in many other programs. And I have been in other coaching programs, so I'll be transparent in that. And what I see that's different is it's always growing, right? It's always it's building. So if you have an idea, if it's something that you want to do, you bring it to the table and it might just become a part of the coaching program for everyone. Right. I got in because I was interested in some of the real estate that didn't require my sweat equity because I don't like to do a whole bunch of lifting. And then it's like, oh, then you get to learn about stocks. And then when we talked about at the time when I joined, you talked about setting up trust and set up a business trust, ministry trust, and a family trust. And I was like, for the price of this program, that's how much the trust costs. Yes. Right? Because I have one from my attorney. I'm like, this. When you set up 3 trusts, a trust in and of itself, you go to an attorney, you're starting at $4,000, $5,000, right? And so I said, well, this is a no-brainer. And I can get 3 of them for less than, so it just made sense. And then I saw as people were coming in, I said, well, let's see where we're going to go because Marvin also is in the same industry as I am in, which is financial services, but he's been doing it much longer than I have. So I would think he has some more information than I have. And so I'm a student, I'm a lifetime student. So I said, I'm humble enough to know, hey, there's some things I know that he might know. So I'm going to get in this program and find out what it is.
Yeah. So what challenges do you think you faced prior to getting in?
So one of the things I feel like was a challenge was focus. And I know that in the program, we have like a Monday call, accountability call, where we're saying what we're doing every week. We're talking about our goals every 6 weeks. We're updating one another on where we are. And people call you out and say, hey, Sarin, last week you said you were going to post your 100th episode. I didn't see you post. Now, I did post it, so that's just an example. But people look forward to seeing, hey, what are you doing next? You said you were going to do boot camp, Saran. Did you share it with us so we could, join to support you? Saran, you said you were going to do a masterclass. Did you join the masterclass? And I think that's something that we often don't understand, as people who come from full-time employment to entrepreneurship, there's no boss hanging over you to get things done. There's nobody that's going to say, crack the whip, if you will, and says, if you don't get this done, you're out of here. When you're a business owner, you're just either you do it or you don't. It doesn't matter either way, but you just get a different result if you do it versus if you don't do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as business owners, we need community too. As business owners, we need to be able to be in a room with folks like Coach Rosie, who's going to challenge you, with folks like Angela, who's going to ask questions that maybe I didn't think to ask, not in a challenging way, but in I didn't think of that. That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go and let me adjust, right? And the other thing is, I believe that there are no mistakes that are made. What is for me won't miss me. And so when the opportunity came with the people that I met, there was 100% connection with those in my cohort. We still text and talk to each other on a regular basis. We're still chatting with each other. We are still connected in a way that makes a big difference in a time where people think connection is just typing a text message or sending a Facebook message or commenting on something. Community is showing up for one another. Community is sitting in space with people. And I tell people all the time, like, I love you. If it's local, don't invite me to a virtual event. Invite me to be in the room. Right. I want to be in the room with people. And as they say, hug and kiss the babies. I want to be in the space where we can exchange real energy and really connect with one another versus just electronically. And there's nothing wrong with electronic. But I know that after the pandemic, I know that my space, my sweet sauces, I want to be in the room.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what would you say are some specific results that you have achieved since being a part of Wealth Creators?
So there are a few things that I've accomplished. I tried to put them all together, but so many tangible and intangible things, right? So I'll start with some tangible things. I was able to consistently move my podcast episodes to 100 episodes. I did that right about 2-3 weeks ago. So I'm excited about that. And for me, the podcast was something that was more about me and my ability to be consistent and to show up and deliver what I said I was going to deliver versus the time of people showing up, because in this digital age, there's so much holding people's attention. You don't know what's going to capture people. But I showed up every week consistently to get that done. The other thing is I co-authored a book, which I'm very excited about. It's called Destiny Expose, where I just talk about my transition and my journey from where I am now, from where I was as a younger person to where I have become as an adult and the lessons that I've learned. And that was very exciting. The other thing is, believe it or not, I got my business finances together because I work with people in personal finance, right? You think you got it when you work with people in your personal finances, right? But business finance is a whole nother animal. And it literally took me about 9 months to get those finances together. Even working with a bookkeeper hired, going back through different things, making sure I separated everything appropriately, making sure things were categorized, making sure, guess what? I had to eliminate spending in my business, just like we do in our personal lives. So it was very exciting for me to be able to go into my business and do what I work with my clients to do for their personal lives and be like, you don't need this, you don't need that, you don't need this. How many times have you used it? Let's just turn it off. If you need it, you can always turn it back on. And just literally slash my businesses. I slashed my business expenses by about $3,000 annually. Nice. And I did a couple of things. And this was a cool thing. I think we had talked about it on a coaching call or something, but it was a late November timeframe. I went and took advantage of every Black Friday deal for my business services that I had, that I could, to, if I pay for it annually, if I got 30 or 40% off, if they had a coupon, I did it. And as I'm looking at it, I'm like, am I even using this? Let me turn it off. And just really, really think about it. It was one thing I turned off. I was like, I'm gonna just turn this off. Then I get a call from my cousin. She's like, I was using that. I was like, oh, my bad.
You're cutting too much, Saran. You start cutting stuff that other folks are using.
I forgot I had given
access to them.
Right. She's a business owner too, but I forgot I had given her access to it. I was like, oh, my bad. She's like, all my stuff is gone. I was like, oh, okay, well, let me just turn it back on. I could just get by with the free version for a while. So apparently I can't because you're on there. But it was funny.
Right.
But it really just, reminded me, and we don't think about it sometimes in our finances. Our personal finances, like, I need this subscription to this. Turn it off and find out if you need it. Turn it off for a couple of days. I did that one time with one thing in my personal life, and I needed it. I had turned off YouTube Premium. And after about 3 days of commercials doing the audiobooks I was listening to, I had enough. And I was like, I'm going back. I'm going back. Right?
You needed that.
But I was like, oh, I didn't know I needed that. Oh, my bad. Yeah. But like 3 years ago, I cut cable off just as a test. I have never gone back. And so doing that in my business was very eye-opening. It was something that helped me learn. The intangible things that I learned was I was able to see a bigger vision. I was able to see a bigger vision of myself in the world, and to see a bigger vision of myself connected to other people. There was an exercise that we did when we went to on one of our live masterminds when we went to Cancun a couple of weeks ago. Well, a couple of months ago now. And we were all sitting out on the beach, just lounging. But our assignment was to write our things that we want for the future, and to keep writing once we got past the surface stuff, to keep writing and to keep writing and keep writing until it was something we never thought we would imagine that we wanted. Right. And that experience was amazing because I looked around at the beach and there were maybe 15 to 20 of us. We had commandeered all the beach chairs from that we could find, and folks were on the sand, and everybody was moving around. And our coach was out there. Coach Marvin was out there, and we're all out there enjoying a vacation / mastermind, but we're not doing typical vacation behavior, if we will. We're not girls gone wild on vacation. We are mature adults who are focused on the vision for the future. Yes, we're relaxing, but nobody's acting crazy. We're all just like, this is my vision. This is my dream. And we're looking at it. And I looked around and I said, these are the amazing types of people that I asked God to surround me with. I said, God, surround me with good people and I'll stay connected. And while we were there, everybody was just there. I mean, our assignment was not to share, so we didn't really share while we were there. But we just but you could feel the energy as the ocean crashed against the sand, the ions come up, the energy was good, the sun was setting, and we're all just still writing. We're still writing. And it was just, it was something that you can't plan in a way, because nobody knew we were all going to go to the beach, if you will. And then there were a few days that we all got up at sunrise uncoordinated, and I look up, we all wanted to watch the sunrise. I look up and it's half the masterminds outside before the sunrise is so that we can see the sunrise together. And we didn't mean to be together, but we're together. And we had Tony and Alita out there with what we call the shofar horn. So if anybody's watching and don't know what that is, type it in ChatGTP or type it in YouTube, and you'll see what the shofar is. As the sun is rising, we are hearing this in real time, and we are just enjoying the presence of being with people who are like-minded. We may come from 1,000 different backgrounds, have 1,000 different stories that led us here, but we came here with a vision and a mission that we want to go forward with, and we don't want to do it alone. And so
that right there is like so powerful, right? When you think about people coming together, like the same mindset, vision to not just vacation, but we went to change our lives, right? Not just there to be there, like you talked about, but to be there to make plans, future plans, current plans to change our lives and the trajectory of our lives. And I think that speaks volumes for wealth creators and what Marvin has
Mm.
created within the group. But what I wanted to do also was remind our listeners, those that are watching us live on Facebook or wherever you're watching us from, please feel free to put some questions in the chat. We would love for Saran to answer those questions for you. We do have a few more minutes. So if there's some
Mhm.
questions that you want to ask her so that you can glean, you can get into her head and begin to learn what she has done to change her life, but not just her life. Her whole goal is not just for herself. It's for all of the people who she come in contact with, who she touches in some way to change their lives already. So
That's
if you have questions, please feel free to ask.
That's so powerful. But Saran, one of the things while we're waiting for the questions, because you talked about how you were prior to coming into Wealth Creators, and now how do you show up now with the magic and the mindset? I mean, first of all, you light up a room when you come in there, but what's the difference how you show up now compared to how you showed up before?
I think the big difference for me is, and I'm gonna be transparent and a little vulnerable here, and that is I am able to see myself the way other people have seen me for years.
Mm.
I was unaware of my own magic. I was
Mm.
unaware of my own power. I was unaware of the gift that I brought when I came into the room. I
Mm.
always downplayed it for a variety of different reasons and seasons and excuses and whatever you want to call it. And
Mhm.
now I feel that I have grown to a place where I can own that I am the person that is able to light up the room, to bring the message and to bring the transformation in a way that is impactful, and not feel like, oh, who are you to do that? You got this stuff
Mm.
going on. You had this, or you came from this background, or you were unemployed and you lost your job before, and you filed bankruptcy and your house was in foreclosure before. I don't have those things are a part of my story now, to say, hey, I came from that. Oh, you grew up, in poverty. Okay. And now I'm a rich auntie. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, and thinking about that, how do you balance that now? How do you balance? One of the questions were, how do you balance your work life and your business life and also your rich auntie life? How do you juggle all those balls and make it work?
This is not going to be a popular answer. There's no such thing as balance when you're chasing a dream.
Come on, come
There's
on.
no such thing as balance. Things are going to be out of balance. Sometimes the laundry room is overflowing with laundry. It's not time for me to focus on that. Sometimes I got to remember to put the trash out. This week I was like, oh man, I haven't put the recycle out about 3 weeks. It's full, but not in a gross way. It's just, there's too much stuff in it. So maybe I should put that out. Sometimes things don't get done.
Mm.
And then sometimes everything gets done. I think that the thing that and I'm learning it too, because I saw Felicia ask the question in the chat. The thing that I'm learning is that balance is for people who want comfort and people who don't want to do anything else.
Oh, say
Balance is
that
for
again.
people balance is for people who want comfort only and don't want to do anything else. Balance is for
Mm.
people who are happy getting up, going to work every day and coming home and doing the same thing. And I'm not knocking it if that's what you want, because you should have what you want. We should all have the dreams of our lives that we want. If that is what your desire is, that's what you want. But if you're chasing something greater than yourself, if you're chasing something that, like, I feel like I'm chasing something that God placed in me a long time ago. And I say to myself every day, don't let all the things I went through be for nothing.
Mm.
Don't let having to overcome all that I've had to overcome in my life, because I'll be 50 this year, in my 50 years of living, don't let it be for nothing. Don't
Mm.
let it be so that no one else can benefit from what I went through and the lessons that I learned. Don't let it be just to suffer, right? And I see people, and this is not judgment, who they've been through similar things and they're stuck. And I'm not knocking it because I know how hard it was to get unstuck, right? And I just pray that they find the catalyst that will move them from the place of being stuck to a place where they can expand and grow and find their space and find their peace and their challenge and the thing that lights them up to give them that spark of life that God put in you is to be used to serve others. And I don't care. And that's everybody. If we all use that spark, we'd be so much further along.
So Saran, someone is asking, what was the name of your book again that was co-authored?
It is called Destiny Expose. And it is on
Expose.
And it's on Barnes and Nobles. We had a little technical glitch with Amazon, so it's on Barnes and Noble.
All right. I love that. Thank you. And then I think someone said, what was the one thing that you chose to master in Wealth Creators? The one thing?
Honestly, I had to master myself.
Ooh.
I had to
all
master.
Right. Saran just spitting all kinds of stuff out today.
All kind of stuff.
She chose to master herself. Like that is the epitome of just knowing who you are, knowing what it is that you desire to do, and it's really finding you, right? So it's looking inwardly at you, so that then you can go out and conquer the other things. Like that was fire right there by itself. So, but thank you so much, Saran. You have been awesome today. We've certainly enjoyed having you, Angela and I. And we can't wait to have you again sometime soon. So someone said, that's powerful. That's what's up. Hey, rich cousin, holla your girl. I want you to holler at them. Continue blessings, Saran. That was Trina Avery. It said, oh, Myrtle said, how long did it take to master yourself, getting to where you are today?
Well,
she said, even did you have to let go of relationships, friends?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I had to release some family ties, some friendships, and some things that were very close to me because they were holding me back mentally. And I use the word release strategically because that does not mean that we may not come back together at some point in the future. But I look at it as there's a time and place for everything. And there was a time for that separation during this period. And it's actually been about maybe 2 or 3 years at this point. And there's no love loss at all. There's no anger. It's just that we need to not be in each other's spaces. And she said, how long did it take to master myself? The journey to self-mastery is a lifetime journey. It's mastering each level. Think about it like a video game. You're on level 10, you mastered level 10, now you got to go to a level 11. And when we master ourselves, that is when the Creator will call us home because you have learned the lessons and all the teachings that you have come here to learn. That's when I will have fully mastered self because God will be like, you're done. Come on up. We need you back up here. We need you up here with the angels doing the thug thizzle with them now. We don't need you back on these earth streets. So.
Well, one last question for you. Someone asked, did you always know your passion? And if not, how did you find it?
I did not necessarily know my passion. I believe that financial services is leading me to a path to somewhere else. I don't know that this is my final place, right? But I know that it is a door. I know that it is something that I love. And I know that it's something that I'm giving 100%. I've always felt like I was meant for something bigger. Even as a little girl, I always dreamt of doing other things. Always dreamt of being on stages, talking to people. I just didn't know how. And I had so much self-doubt that I always would push it away. And so it's a process. So I wouldn't say I knew. I know we hear people do interviews and they're like, I always knew. No, I had the thought, but I had the doubt too.
Yeah. I love it. So I like to think of passion as it's always evolving, right? So where I was 10 years ago is not where I am today, but I had a passion for what I was doing back then. that led
Correct.
me to the next journey, right? And so I think it's a continual thing. It's not something that this is my ever thing. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, which is great.
Right.
I think that brings so much excitement and the unknown, right? Most of us fear it, but it should be a little bit more exciting of that unknown. Like, wow, what's next, right? What is God about to do next in your life, Angela? Like,
Yes.
I think that that's just the part to evolve in. But thank you so much, Saran. We went a little bit over today, but we absolutely love having you. If anyone wants your services or if they want to find out more about you, where can they go to do that?
Well, you can catch me on Instagram. I saw it scrolling earlier at the real Saran Baker, because apparently there's some other Saran Baker on Instagram. And you can find me on YouTube. Just type Saran Baker. My channel will come up. I'm actually starting a new channel. I haven't published it yet, but you type Saran Baker on YouTube. You'll get over 100 videos of me talking about different things in the financial world, in the mindset world. And you will also get to see lots of short reels on just different things that I've experienced and that I am sharing with the world. So I would love to connect with anyone. So shoot me a DM, hit me on Instagram, or if you like the content on YouTube, subscribe, like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you like it. If you don't, it's okay. I just would love it if you came by.
So Saran, for anyone who may be on this journey or thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, what would be 3 words? I only need 3 words that you would say to them to inspire them.
Just do it.
I love it, Saran. Thank you so much. Y'all heard that, right?
Just do it.
All right. Thank you, Saran. We love having you. Angela, my beautiful co-host, girl, you're the girl for me. All right. Love having you guys today. Let's go out with a bang.
All right. All right. All right.
This has been fantastic.
Yes. Absolutely.